What's going on, guys? My name's Dynasty. What I got for y'all today again is another Injustice 2 video. Now today, I finally got a video that's been requested so many times lately. My top 5 guest characters for Injustice 2. Now these are realistic picks. Nothing like Wolverine or Spider-Man, like legit realistic people I can actually see inside of Injustice 2. Before we get into this pretty awesome list I put together, can you guys please smash that like button? YouTube's been extremely broken lately, so yesterday, for the first time I think ever, I asked for 500 likes and we got over 1,000, so thank you guys so much. I could really use the support now more than ever, so if you guys can just smash that like button, I'll find a way to repay you. I'll fly to your house personally and give you a kiss on the cheek, as well as give you another top 5 video similar to this sometime this weekend. So guys, thank you so much for that. Honestly, I was blown away, so thank you so much. So with that said, let's break down the top 5 guest characters, in my opinion, for Injustice 2. Now, starting off at the number 5 spot, I got a pretty obvious character. For real, guys, like, close your eyes and guess. Who would be the number 5 spot? I'll give you a second. Sub-Zero. Now, it kind of sucks because I know a lot of you guys really don't want to see Mortal Kombat characters inside of Injustice 2. And me, personally, I agree with you. Should just be nothing but superheroes, DC characters. But at this point, it's kind of inevitable. Injustice 1 had Scorpion as their DLC character, one of their guests. And according to Ed Boon, that was the highest selling DLC character for Injustice. So I think it's safe to say they're going to follow that business model. Ed Boon's been in interviews with IGN claiming they're going to follow that business model. So pretty obvious that Sub-Zero is going to be a DLC guest character inside of Injustice 2. Not to mention, just recently, here was this voting poll. Bam! Best MK guest character for Injustice 2. 52% went to Sub-Zero, and of course, second place was Johnny Cage. Then he followed that up by saying this. Bam! Almost 20,000 he spoke. It seems like Sub-Zero would be your choice of an MK guest character in Injustice 2. We hear ya. So he's acknowledging the fact that there is a demand to see Sub-Zero inside of Injustice 2, and it only makes sense for it to be the counterpart of Scorpion, Sub-Zero. I mean, to be fair, he was in MK versus DC as well, so it wouldn't be the first time that Sub-Zero battled it out with Batman, so there's that to look forward to if you're one of the few that actually did enjoy playing MK versus DC. But guys, like I mentioned, it's pretty much inevitable at this point. I think it's safe to say he's going to be a guest character in this game, hence why I gave him the number 5 spot. Now, I love him in Mortal Kombat, but for Injustice, I mean, he's got number 5. Moving on to number 4, though, yet again, though, is another character who's also been recently acknowledged by Ed Boon in some tweets. Bam! We've got ourselves none other than Hellboy. Now, what's really cool about this is just recently in sight that best non-MK guest for Injustice 2 voting poll actually made by Ed Boon. Though Spawn wanted 45% of the vote, in second place, it was Hellboy. So, pretty good indicator there. Not to mention, a couple tweets after that, somebody said, no, we wanted Hellboy, wrong character. And of course, his response was, what about both? So you even got the man himself, Ed Boon, acknowledging the idea of having obviously the most requested guest character in like NetherRealm Studio game history in Spawn, and a pretty awesome unique character like Hellboy for Injustice 2. So seeing that got me stoked. Obviously, you guys, you know, it's been a couple years since Hellboy's been inside the limelight of pop culture. I mean, his films came out in the late 2000s. I think he had like one video game in like 2007. His comic books are still popping up here and there, but they're definitely not as popular as they once were. So if he was inside Injustice 2, it'd bring his character back to life. So I think it's a win-win scenario. NetherRealm Studios can make this working relationship with Dark Horse Comics. Obviously, they own the rights to him. Make a deal with these guys. Get Hellboy inside of Injustice 2. It'd be so sick. There'd be like so many possibilities too of his weaponry, because for instance, he got that Samaritan inside all the films, that massive revolver. With these gear systems, the gear packs, you can probably get like certain variations of his Samaritan. Not to mention, he has the right hand of Doom. Like, that thing is a beast. It's a monster. It could be his main gameplay focus, his right hand right there. So there's a lot they can do, and I mean, honestly, Hellboy's never been brought to life inside a video game before, so this could be like the very first time to see Hellboy and his character brought to life. And to top it all off, what if Ron Perlman was brought in to do the voice acting for his character inside of Injustice 2? Like, can you imagine the intros, the dialogue throughout the gameplay? It'd be so sick. Literally excited, stoked to see Hellboy in this game, and if he's not in this game, I'll be super bummed, because this is a pretty good opportunity to bring his character back into the spotlight. NetherRealm Studios, make a deal with Dark Horse Comics. We need this guy in this game. Moving on, though, to our number 3 pick. It is definitely a unique character that I don't think I've seen anybody talk about too much. That character being none other than The Darkness. Now, I've not seen anybody at all bring this up. Like, this dude could be one hell of a guest character inside this game. I mean, he's actually owned by Top Cow Productions, which is owned by Image Comics, which owns Spawn, so it's not too far-fetched. And I know what you're saying, you're like, wait a second, Dynasty, isn't this like a video game on the PS3 and 360? Yes, there was 2 of those games, and they weren't that bad, but this goes a lot farther than just those games made by 2K. This guy had his own comic books back in the late 90s, early 2000s, and a matter of fact, he even had a comic book crossover with none other than Superman. So this guy actually had a crossover comic with Superman, and inside this comic, he punches Superman once, and Superman starts to bleed. So this dude already has some history of a character like Superman, so that kind of ties into things. And just think about it, like, his playstyle would be pretty cool. Obviously, inside the most recent games, he's always wielding like 2 pistols or 2 guns, and I mean, we got Deathshot, and he shoots a lot like that, but I mean, this guy controls darkness. Like, he can summon his own demonic creatures and control them. So the idea of having this mobster hitman guy with 2 dual-wielding pistols and throwing at you like these demonic creatures in this game, that would be so sick. Now, like I mentioned, he's owned by Top Cow Productions. Of course, they're a sister company of Image. Image owns Spawn. Spawn's pretty much a guarantee at this point, so would this be that far-fetched? I don't think so, but anyways, guys, The Darkness was my number 3 pick. A great comic book character. Dive into his history and you're gonna see he's actually pretty awesome. Moving on, though, to the number 2 pick I got for the top 5 guest characters inside of Injustice 2. It's none other than Rorschach from Watchmen. Now, just a couple days ago, Ed Boon actually asked this on Twitter right here. Bam! You want to see Watchmen characters in Injustice 2? And of course, with 74% of the votes, the answer was yes. So the idea of seeing Watchmen characters inside of Injustice 2, like Dr. Manhattan, like Rorschach, like Night Owl, it's not that crazy, guys, especially if you throw in the fact that it's now been, I guess, confirmed that the Watchmen universe and the regular DC universe are combined. So if we're gonna be technical, are these guys even considered guest characters anymore? But guys, Rorschach in this game would be so sick. Obviously, he'd have his grappling gun, his grappling hook. You're looking at some gameplay from a custom Mugen. Just imagine that inside modern day graphics, like 3D animations and Injustice 2. It'd be so sick. The customization would be pretty cool as well. You could probably change like his mask, his trench coat, his gloves, his fedora, the color schemes, all that fun stuff with the gear system, the gear pack. So it's actually a possibility, though he's just a detective vigilante. Yeah, he's still pretty cool. When I think of Watchmen, I think of Rorschach, and if we are gonna see Watchmen characters inside of Injustice 2, I'm really hoping it is this man right here. However, it is that time to move on to our number 1 selection for the top 5 guest characters inside of Injustice 2, and if you haven't predicted this by now, you gotta be living under a rock, honestly. So, number 1 is none other than Spawn! Yes, I know, such a surprise! Spawn as my number 1 pick. Now, Spawn is a character that Ed Boon has teased for years now as a guest character in either Mortal Kombat titles or, just like I mentioned recently, Injustice 2. He just had that voting poll right here. Bam! What are the best non-MK guest characters you want to see inside of Injustice 2? And obviously, Spawn won with a massive margin. Just this last month alone, he's probably tweeted about Spawn like 7 or 8 times, which is insane because it reminds me so much of what he did back for Alien leading up to the Combat Pack 2 DLC. Before we knew Combat Pack 2 was even in the works, he was constantly talking about Alien being DLC, and it just, this reminds me so much of that whole scenario. So honestly, I think Spawn is a lock-it as a guest character at this point. Then you throw in that rumored conversation that Todd McFarlane had with NetherRealm Studios Ed Boon, where he said, hey, I gave him the rights to use Spawn for Mortal Kombat X, so if they really do have the rights to use Spawn, what if they're waiting just to use him inside of Injustice 2 as that big heavy hitter guest character DLC? So it seems pretty obvious to me that Spawn's gonna be in this game. This wouldn't even be his first time being a guest character in a fighter either, because back in Soul Calibur 2, you can see right here, bam, he was a guest character for the Xbox version of Soul Calibur 2, and that went off well. Like, people loved that. They loved using Spawn in that game. So really wouldn't be that crazy, guys. Like, all signs indicate Spawn being DLC. Boon's talking about it. Boon's teased about it for years. Voting poll, he won. He's already been a guest character in the past. Todd McFarlane said he gave the rights to NetherRealm Studios to use him, so all signs are pretty good if you're looking forward to seeing Spawn in this game. But guys, that is all I got for y'all today. It took me about 10 minutes roughly to give you guys my top 5 guest characters for Injustice 2. It is just my opinion. Some of you guys probably don't agree with my list. And of course, if you don't, let me know who you want to see in the comment section below. Where did I go wrong? All that fun stuff. Just let me know everything into the comment section below. And honestly, I've been super active in the comments of these videos lately, so chances are, if you leave a comment, I'll probably end up replying back to you. And of course, if you did enjoy this super long video and you're still watching right now, please drop a like on it. Like, please, please, please. I usually don't ask for likes, guys, but YouTube's broken, and I could definitely use that boost right now. So if you just drop that like, I'll be super duper thankful. And of course, subscribe for some more Injustice 2 content. I've been uploading pretty much daily all week long, and I'll probably continue this this nice little schedule here, guys. But anyways, till next time, I've been your host. I've been Dynasty. You guys take care, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.